technically, yes, we are live now. Hello and welcome everyone to the 12th episode of our D&D 5e campaign called Roaches, and yet again the recap will be done by Lodwick.
Who would have thought?
Indeed.
Yeah, what weird.
Well, hello everyone. Good evening. Last time on Roaches. Should I continue speaking like that?
No.
Okay.
Last time on Roaches Abridged. Sorry.
Great start. Because of curses, of let's say the curse of Friday the 13th, we are now starting our 12th session. So, in last session, the party was being attacked by zombie-like creatures that were able to spit out leeches. Although most of them were compelled to flee by the will of Arahant's deity, the few that remained were dispatched off as swiftly and quickly as possible. It was quite a tough fight, but the party prevailed. After that, Clark was collecting those leeches that, by the way, are undead. And he had 3 reasons for it to do it.
You think I only have 3 reasons? Oh, you don't see my plan.
Well, he had 3 purposes that he shared with us, and it was the first of them is doing research on them. The second is is trying to see if we can weaponize them, and the third is adding them as mascots to Dio, or in addition to Dio, the Rock. Either way, we with that threat dealt with, and with Claude in the lead, the party comes into a clearing where they finally find the ash leaves that are found there in abundance. While there, or while on their way back there, Arahant hears voices speaking in Infernal, but when questioning the other 2 party members about them, and they stating that they didn't heard anything, the other 2 start to question Arahant's mental health. Truth be told, if you start to hear voices, why not? As Arhant is picking the leaves, there is another undead, elf-like in origin, that rises from the forest floor. It bears a crown on its head, but with empty slots in it, or empty spaces. And the being is mumbling something about 9s and a Wendigo, Endigo, something like that. After some initially rocky contact with that being, the party agrees to help the figure that apparently is some kind of king, or thinks himself to be a king, to return that elven undead or death-like being to his throne room, as well as trying to get the gems back that belong into the empty sockets. Um, the sockets that are empty, through to a detect magic spell, Arahant was able to determine that there are some very, very faint after um, leftovers or afterthoughts, if you can say it so, of several schools of magic in it. So, implying that the gems are magical in nature, and probably referring to several, if not all, schools of magic, being 8 in total. Although I do not know that there were that many sockets in the crown.
No, the crown had 4 sockets, I think.
Only 4 sockets, okay. So we help it return to his throne, or at least at the place where he has his throne room. And it's also the crown that he's wearing is also the crown that the party has been asked has been asked by the Duke, if I'm not mistaken, to locate it. Arriving at the palace, a derelict building, if I remember correctly, in the midst of the forest. King descends into a dark space, which leads to a basement. Leads to a basement. Yes. Claude follows in suite. You had to know that the entrance was covered by a pool or of something like that was pitch black in darkness, but being having his detect magic still active, he discovered that it was something magical. Although Arahant could not determine if it was just an illusion or some kind of form of teleportation. Either way, Claude follows the regal figure, follows it down into a basement, where the elven light being leaves the crown on a dais, and then disappears into one of the adjacent rooms or buildings. After which, Claude decided to pick up the crown and put it on his head. Doing so, Claude gets a nice conversation. Maybe you can call it a twist of fate with several spirits that are speaking to him. Some of them are arguing, I think, and they are talking about being that the one who wears the crown should be king or will be king or is king, something like that. Which convinced Claude that he wants to become a king, and that he does not want to give the crown back, or to give the crown to the Duke, simply put. After a while, Mel and Arahant also descend into the basement, where they witness Claude with a crown on his head, and apparently the two of them can also see the spirits. I think they were ghost-like creatures, if I'm not mistaken, Jan.
Yes.
And Clark let them know of his intention towards kingship. Why not? I will have to say as a side note, and that's me.
Right.
all the
Did
way.
you ask whether the infernal voices that you heard before were those two ghosts?
Hmm?
What did you just ask whether the two infernal voices were the same as the two ghosts?
No.
Okay.
No. I asked if the voices that talk to Clark, if that those were the voices of the ghosts or the ghost-like figures that Arahant and Mel saw when they were going down into the basement.
Ah, okay.
On a side note, and that's Lodewijk talking as a historian and not as a player. A fun fact: to be king, one simply has to state that he or she wants to be king or queen, and needs to have most of the nobility to acknowledge him or her as their sovereign, and thus one becomes a sovereign. But that as a side note, returning to the story, when they are downstairs, behind them, they hear all three of them hear footsteps and also voices speaking to each other while they're descending, and they are speaking into infernal. And there is where the session ended. I give the playing field back to you. Yeah.
Okay. I just uncovered an evil plot, but anyway.
You what?
I just uncovered an evil plot. But
Not that evil.
okay, it's kinda an evil plot to give me money, but anyway.
To become a king, sovereign.
No, there has been an evil plot involving asking how many onions I do possess. Ignore. But yes, you are still in the cellar, in the same cellar as you left off last session. What are you guys actually doing? I think you were on your way out, not actually in the cellar, right?
No, we were still in the cellar.
Okay.
But we are hearing voices in infernal.
Yes.
That only Arahant can understand what they're saying, but they're going down. So I think the party still have a very few precious moments to decide either to confront the source of the voices or to try to hide or to do whatever action they want to do. But we're still in the basement.
Yes.
I mean, did the voices ever sound hostile in any way?
Not really.
Sound them.
Well, what are they saying?
Um,
Because Arahant is understanding their language.
What was the most recent thing they were saying? I think the most recent thing you heard was them calling each other an idiot because you noticed them. And now they are talking. They are talking about how the now one is calling another an idiot for actually following the party through through whatever black hole that was without knowing whether it's safe, and being like, yeah, the party are idiots for going in there. you are an idiot who's following a party of idiots, and the other just responds by, and you are the idiot that's following the idiot that's following the idiot.
Okay.
Yes.
Arahant is turning towards his companions and saying, "Those are the voices that I heard earlier on. So there is nothing wrong with my mental health. Also, they're arguing about being idiots, following us, who apparently, in their eyes, we are also idiots. So what do? We confront them, we hide, we run. What do we do?"
I mean, hmm. I mean, honestly, there is. Let's just hide for a moment and see what they do. But let's prepare an action to attack if we need to.
Well, is the day is large enough to hide three full-grown people?
What do you say?
I'd say it is, yes.
Mhm. So we could hide behind the dais on which the Elven King put his crown earlier on, or we can try to as furtively as possible go into one of the adjacent rooms. So what will we do?
Here's the question though. Who are they after? Because if they're just after one of us,
If they are just after one of you, what?
hey Abraham, would you volunteer to be bait?
Why me?
Because I know Justin will say no, and I'm the king here.
I mean, I am the best for giving cover and fire.
Yeah, see? So only option is you, Abraham.
I do not acknowledge you as a king,
Well, it doesn't matter.
so that will be settled.
However, I do think we need to decide what if we're looking to fight or flight here.
Well, I can try to play the ambassador and talk with them and try to see what they want.
Okay, you have accepted being a bait. I'll go hide then. See ya.
Arahant will stand before will will go to the front of the dais, but turning his back towards the entrance and doing as if he is studying or looking at something or looking more closely at something on the dais.
So, yes, you hear the voices coming closer, bickering amongst each other. And then one of them is like, I think we should be in hearing distance soon. Maybe you should shut up. No, you should shut up. No, you should shut up. And
In 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 in
in Inferno.
In
And,
Inferno,
yeah,
the two of them will hear, Whoever you are, please do shut up. I am trying to study.
Look, have you heard that why are we even talking? Why are we even talking in French? We have already established that he knows that. We should have just been talking in Spanish. What is that? A language I just made up.
Hola, amigos.
But apparently he
Although
speaks it already.
I prefer Italian, but because I'm much more fluent in Italian than in Spanish, but I can manage, I suppose.
So, what can the figments of your imagination do for you? Yes.
Are they saying that to
Yeah.
Arahant? Arahant turns to face the entrance of the stairway. Can I see them?
No.
And the voices, are they still coming from the staircase? Or
They
are they
are
already?
they are basically inside of the room and are coming from above.
Okay, in that case, I do have it prepared. That's okay. 1 hour. It's one action only. Okay. I will spend a second level spell slot. Sorry, Arahant will spend a second level spell slot. Karak Denape Takan. And casting See Invisibility on himself.
You actually have see invisibility, okay.
He just cast it, yes.
Okay.
It's by the way one of the spells that he was given by the
Yes.
adopted daughter of the Duke. So thank you, DM, for giving me this the spell.
Yes, you see two imps just flying on the close to the ceiling.
He's looking at them. Ah. So you're the two that are following us.
Quick shape change. There are now two ravens flying near the ceiling.
Nice trick. I do have something similar.
Oh no. Is it going to be polymorph? No, you can't have polymorph yet, can you?
No, but I can
Wait,
use.
are we in a cave right now?
You're technically in a cave, yeah. You are in a room underneath a stairwell that where the top of the stairwell is connected to a cave.
So in the cave, they decided to turn into two ravens. Rather than, I don't know, a bat. Or something that makes sense in a cave.
Technically, imps only have the ability to become ravens, rats, or spiders.
Oh. Well, the other two would have fit better, but
Yeah, but they're also at the ceiling.
yeah.
Well, would Arhant know those are imps, and if so, of what they would be capable of?
I guess roughly. I mean, you would probably know what an imp is and how it looks and what, like, basic things devils are capable of, and that it is a shape changer and can be invisible.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
probably that it has a stinger so it can sting.
Well, he saw them as in their imp form before they.
Yes.
um, well, your Arahant is looking at the two imps. You are talking to a wizard, so I know something about transmutation and illusions. And I also know that you two are imps.
No,
And
you
that's
don't. No, you're not. We're just birds. You are crazy. Quah!
Said the two ravens talking infernal.
Yes.
Arahant is pulling out his spell book, opening it.
Yeah, at this point, like Mel's just leveraging his crossbow and aiming it at them.
Starting to flip through it. That would be nice, but would be too destructive to myself and the entire cave.
Anyway, as we are birds, I think we should go to the fresh air, yes? Yes, quah!
That would also be interesting, that spell, but it would cause a cave in.
I feel like we should just leave.
Oh, look here! I do have something that can reach you.
Yeah, we should just leave.
I am willing to let go of possible hostile actions and just talk.
Why would you want to talk to birds? Are you one of those druid people?
Look, you're taking us for idiots while calling yourself idiots.
Hey.
Because I happened to hear a conversation beforehand. True, I thought that those were because I couldn't see you then, and I didn't ascertain that you were what you are, me, and that being imps, because I saw you now and then transforming yourself into ravens. So it's true that I thought before that you were voices that I heard in my head. Would not be the first time, but now I've heard you again, and I could ascertain through the use of magic that you are, well, indeed imps that can change your shape and form. So
So
let's be civil and just talk. Because I would like to know, why are you following us?
we're just heading in the same direction. Quah.
Insight check.
Yes, roll an insight check.
I do not think that Arhant needs to roll that.
Yes, it was obviously a lie, even though that's a nat one.
Checks
I
out.
would have loved if you would have just said, "Oh yeah, you believe them."
So, we're just looking to see if you do anything stupid. And maybe you
Please,
did.
please define stupid. There are several kinds of stupidity.
Um,
And
so
I have been known to do some of them. Not all of them, but some of them.
there's
I will not elaborate on that matter, by the way.
there's two major ones we are looking for. Either
Mhm.
should you decide to die, like by walking into whatever black mist that could potentially just erase your existence or something, then we would just take those magic items, if possible. Like, that's the first kind of stupidity, just dying. And no, that's actually the only one we're looking for. Yes.
And with the black mist, you are referring to the mist that was upstairs. The mist that was obscuring the pathway leading here to this cellar or basement.
No, I'm referring to the to a completely different black mist that you've come across and stepped into.
Inside check.
Can you not inside check ironic statements? Why is there a man in the back just yelling inside check at me?
What is this insight you speak of?
Are you subjects of the Duke?
Maybe? Yes? What would that change?
Well, it could be assurance coming from him that he wants to see if we would deliver what we promised, and having some invisible servants, which, by the way, I happen to be able to see now for an extended period of time, as of now, would indeed have been very helpful to ascertain if we decided to do something else. But you were also very noisy.
Maybe?
Not maybe, I'm sure of it.
That was your fault.
Me? Mine?
No, no, him. No, him.
That's a big one.
Hey, good boy.
You know, honestly, you pointed at Danny DeVito, and I wasn't sure if you were talking about him.
Maybe you should stop listening in into other people's conversations. That's kind of rude.
And maybe you should be more furtive in your conversations.
Maybe. So, can we leave now?
They'll look into our hunt. It still has a bead on him.
From where they are, they only see Arahant?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I mean, they probably see a crossbow pointed at them.
Ah, okay.
And I don't
I'm
know
pretty
if
far
Clark
away.
just decided to, if Clark is even still hiding or just has decided to, I don't know, start dancing or something.
Hey,
or
You
coming
can do.
forth and
I
starting
can
to
do
claim that
both.
he, or coming forth and claiming that he is the new king and starting to make demands. You never know.
So yes. Can we leave now?
They are the employee of the Duke. I don't see any reason to cause them harm, given that we're still on good terms with him and he hasn't done any wrong by us.
Indeed. You have my permission to leave if you want to.
Nice.
And I will refrain from causing a cave-in or an entire explosion.
Yes. Yeah, and with that, they start flying out of the cave or up the stairwell as ravens.
Okay, well, Arahant will go towards the stairs and go up a bit, so to see if they are still, or at least with keeping some distance until he has ascertained that they went out of the staircase itself, back through
Give me a perception check.
the black mist or something like that. Perception. Here we go. Mm. A 14.
I mean, you're not really seeing anything unusual. There's just the, typical critters you might expect to find on an old, long since not used stairwell.
Mm.
Including maybe spiders and rats. But just maybe.
Maybe.
Things that could have made a little bit more sense.
But hey, you didn't count all the spiders and rats on the way down, so...
It's only when they're in the swarm, though. They're fine otherwise.
Well, after not seeing any ravens anymore, he will go down and go towards his companions, and he will give them a cliff note of the conversation he had with the two imps, because I suppose all that they would have heard is something like or something like that.
And bird noises, yes.
So he will give the cliff note version of their conversation, and he will also add, "I think we're being watched."
Sounds accurate.
Seems that way.
So what do? We leave this basement. We go to one of the 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 other chambers.
Well, I say we take it one step at a time. First off, fulfill our bargain with the medicine woman.
Mhm. Indeed.
And after that, we could figure out this whole mess. And he kind of like motions towards Karth and the crown.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Last thing I said.
Yes?
Oh, after we take things back to the medicine woman, then we can figure out this whole mess. And then he motions towards you.
I mean, I'm beautiful. I'm not a mess.
He
And
goes
he'll
back to look at our.
testify that.
DM.
Yes.
Apparently, sea invisibility lasts for 1 entire hour. No concentration required. Is centered on self.
Yes.
So meaning that there is no limit to vision unless the natural vision rate of a person.
See invisibility can also see into the ethereal plane,
Yes,
can't it?
indeed.
Yes, you're probably seeing a bunch of ghosts.
Another
Well,
creepy thing on the
I
ethereal
ain't
plane.
afraid of no ghost.
well, Clark and Mel will probably see that the blue eyes of Arhat have a kind of a superimposed bluish shine on it. So when he looks at them, it can be a bit spooky, but
Yes. That's just lots of ghosts just floating about throughout the room.
and what are they? They're just floating.
I mean, most of them seem to be just basically looking for some way to pass the time.
Please tell
Or
me there's
some-
one of them in the corner creeping on someone.
I mean, some are just play. Some are playing like dice games or such. Some
Wait,
are
ghost dice? They have ghost dice?
maybe. Technically, the ethereal plane has like material to make dice out of. I mean, it has a floor. If you hit floor long enough, you get stuff.
Yeah.
That's how Minecraft works.
Isn't the ethereal plane like you will yourself to go places? That's how you travel through it.
Yes, but it still has like. I think there's still like stuff there.
I know there's like big ass creatures that eat shit there
Also,
that thankfully don't know of our presence. Some spooky stuff in the ethereal plane.
Aside
Earth
aside
ethereal
from the
plane, or whatever it's
ghosts,
called.
are there other things that are ethereal in nature?
mostly that just go dozens upon dozens of ghosts in royal clothing.
Well, Arhant is then is asking. Well, shall we leave this basement then and go to the medicine woman with the ash leaves.
That's what I think we should do.
Okay. Oh, and be mindful if you leave the days or the behind of the days, do not leave from your right, but leave from your left. Otherwise, you will step right into two ghosts that are playing dice.
Wait, can we somehow influence? Can I walk through ghosts? Is that a thing?
I don't think they notice you. Like you can't interact with each other unless you're messing with the ethereal plane itself.
Well,
Or
um,
they have somehow gotten grounded.
They can't see you and you can't see them really.
So I can
Ah.
just dance through the dice game.
Yeah.
that's the description of the spell.
Yeah, the only
Yeah,
person
and
that would see
our
would be
aunt
our aunt.
can see them but still can't really interact with them. And
No.
they still can't see them.
Yeah.
But although, but he's just saying that for being well in at his core, Arahant is a nice guy. So just to be polite, let's say it that way.
Yes. Yes, the only two ghosts you can really interact with are the one. I mean, there are technically two ghosts in here still on this plane.
Mm.
Because those are the two ones you've talked to.
Yeah.
But they have just started. I don't think they are really in the room anymore. I think they left to do whatever they are doing with their housekeeping duties. Yes. Yeah. What do you guys do? I think you said you wanted to leave.
Yep. Make our way back to the little village.
Okay, so up the stairway.
I'll be right back.
Up the stairway, you enter a cave, and I think the actual directions out of it were given to you last session, but it's basically just mostly straight ahead, and if you can't go straight ahead, go left. And repeat until you are out of the cave.
That's what we will follow.
And with that, you are again standing in the forest.
Anything seem different out here?
I mean, it's definitely different than the place where you entered the house. It's definitely a different place. You are just in the forest next to a cave entrance.
Just try to find our path back. See if we can follow our own footsteps, or if not, just try to get our bearings.
Give me a survival check. Yes, after a short while, you come across a small brook that is, and basically follow it to the lake downstream, and orienting yourself by the. It's not called edges. It's not called beach. How is the edge of a lake called?
Sure.
I guess shore. But orienting yourself by the shore, you manage to head around the lake back to the village or town.
During the I suppose it will take more than an hour to arrive there.
Yes, it will take more than an hour.
But within the hour that the spell lasts and that we are outside, Arahant will regularly will look around himself and try to see if he can still see the imps or ravens or something like that.
Yeah, give me a perception check again.
Can
I
I help?
Yes.
A help action.
Could he? Because Arahant is using the fact that he has
Oh
the
yeah,
special
wait.
flight.
The paladin can't see invisible things. Yes, he can't really help.
Did you have to correct him?
Well,
You wasted an advantage.
oh, yeah, well, look,
And we play the fair game here,
indeed,
the straight
Yeah.
and narrow.
I haven't, I am not, I haven't played D&D for at least 27 years.
Yeah,
So my respect for the game is very great.
sadly, there's just no way for the paladin to detect nearby fiends.
Yeah.
That is correct. Divine sense, please.
And I will do my perception. So here I go, perception.
With divine sense, yes, you do notice the presence of. I think it just says that it's the presence of two fiends nearby. I think that's all it.
Fiends, undead, and celestials. Yes.
Yeah, I mean it.
You
No,
know the
the question
location.
is. Oh, yes, they are in the trees.
I'm gonna point at them. What did Arahant say?
That we are free to leave.
So leave!
We did. We left the cave.
I swear to God, if you are behind us in 20 minutes, I will fire a guiding bolt at you.
Interesting offer. Well, just ignore that. Or I guess we'll just leave that way then. He says without you really seeing him pointing anywhere because he is either invisible or change into something you can't really see.
That's alright. Do I notice the presence leaving?
Yes, you notice the presence moving straight ahead of you.
Alright, Arahant, Mel, we're not going that way.
That is the way to town.
We are going to use a shortcut, and with shortcut I mean we'll go around it.
But what?
You are going around the lake.
Bird boys are going there.
What I miss? What did I miss? I went to grab water.
Basically, you are still being stalked by imps.
Yeah, I heard that part.
And then they went to war. And then Klaas told them to fuck off or just to leave. And then they kind of left in the same direction you were going, just straight towards town.
Oh, okay.
And now Kalaf is saying, yeah, let's just go the other way around.
Excuse me. No need to complicate things for ourselves. Not like we're doing much to take notes on, anyways. Just head back to town.
Yeah, but then they can watch us enter town and know where we enter town. If we go around and take different entrance, they might not know where we are.
Again, what's it matter if they see us go to town?
Yes, indeed. But for the same.
By the way,
how-
traveling around the entirety of the lake would take about 2 days, maybe.
Ah, shit.
Well, like we're
Well,
heavily inconveniencing ourselves.
well,
Yeah, never mind then.
Arahant will argue uh, uh, by making a point in saying they followed us into the basement, so it's fair to assume that they have followed us since we left the home or the mansion of the Duke, meaning that if using logic and they followed us since we left the mansion of the Duke, they have already known that we went to town and spoke with several people and went from town to this place. So, is there really need for us to start deceiving them?
I mean,
Let's just return to
if we're
the.
fine with them knowing more about us, then, I mean, I guess.
We can just keep to ourselves and be more careful with what we're saying. And once we're somewhere else, I can always cast my see invisibility spell again, just to ascertain if they are still there. So let's go to town.
Go to town.
Actually, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Arahant, do you know what languages imps like them speak?
I do know that they speak infernal, as you have heard, and they can also speak common because as imps are devils and devils like to make bargains, they must know a common language with the people that they do bargains with. It's possible that they do know other languages, but that would not be my common knowledge. I do not know if they can understand all languages or that they're only limited to their native language, which is infernal and common to be able to communicate on a general or basic level with other living creatures. So
I guess we don't really have a choice then. Fuck it.
I'm quite a linguist, but
I mean, I was thinking that maybe if there is something critical we need to discuss, and I'll continue in Dwarvish, we'll talk like this, but I don't know if you speak this.
um, he will respond to you in Dwarvish. Yes, I do.
I'll look over at Mel.
He responds as well in Dwarvish.
So we could just go with Dwarvish if they're speaking Infernal. I mean,
And
they might know the language, but hey, it's at least something.
well, continuing in Dwarvish, Arhant will say, well, that would be indeed an option to from now on until we have all that business concluded, that we talk with each other in the dwarven tongue, and hoping that they do not understand or know language dwarvish.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned that my sheet only had me as knowing Dwarvish, like no common.
Yeah, and now you
Not
kind of
bad.
put it in empty language proficiency.
I know, I accidentally clicked that when I was trying to click in the type bubble.
Ah, okay, makes sense. So, are you heading back to the actual town or to the Kurtor village outside?
But as you stated earlier on, we went, we followed the direction up until the shores of the lake.
Yeah, so you would just travel through the village automatically, basically.
Uh,
I guess, except if you were coming from the other side.
well, for simplicity's sake, let's say that we just go
Yes.
through the village,
Uh,
and that we the medicine woman. Did she live in
Yeah, she
in
lived in
town
the
or in the
village.
village?
She lived
The
in the
village.
village.
Okay. Well, then our first stop would be the village and the abode of the medicine woman to deliver her ash leaves.
Yes, and she welcomes you in. So, did you bring the ash leaf I asked for?
Yes, we did. And Arahant will open his bag and pile in an abundant amount of ash leaves.
That's a lot.
Well, you did not specify how much, so
Like, that's enough where I could just use it as a letters replacement. I feel like I need to pay you extra.
If there's any poultices or things you think would be useful to us on the road, I'd gladly welcome that.
How well are you stocked up on healing potions?
We have
Well, are we
three.
start? Yeah, looks like 3 at the moment.
well, I myself have none.
Party loot.
Ah, the part.
Ah.
Okay.
That's it.
Which, I mean, for simplicity's sake, we would each carry 1, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also love how they are in the inventory of the party loot and also in the title. That's just
Yeah.
not confusing to the max.
Yeah, I put it in the inventory because that makes sense. The title will eventually get too bloated to have everything listed.
Okay. So the inventory is more up to date than the title.
Yes.
Yep.
Um. Cool. So I could just give you some healing potions, or do you have something specific in mind? I could probably just give you some antitoxins, which apparently in the D&D universe are just generic brand anti-poison.
I've never looked at an antitoxin in D&D.
Wait, did I just... Yeah, switch tabs. I misclicked and switch tabs in the cameraman browser. Antitoxins in D&D basically give you advantage on saves against poison for an hour.
Mhm.
And I think they removed the poison condition as well. No. It's just advantage on saving throws against poison for an hour.
That sucks.
I mean, it's not bad if you know you're going into something involving poison, but like, hey, go clear out this spider layer. It's like, okay, well,
But
bottoms
if we
up.
if we wait a couple of if we wait for a couple of level ups, then Arahant will be able to use magic to alleviate or make disappear poison. So
I mean,
Well, how much is an antitoxin in comparison to a standard healing potion?
they
Because
might
we can get
actually.
because we can get a good number of vials of antitoxin, then that's just resource savature on your spell slots. Because, like I said, in a typical like dungeon delve, we just all take a sip and then roll out, and we're fine against poison. Although it doesn't
Um,
help Karth at all because he already has advantage on it.
Antitoxin
Is a dwarf.
for her specifically is worth about or to her is worth about you can get 4 doses of antitoxin for the same amount of money as a potion.
And then
Like as a
how many
healing potion.
potions was she offering?
Um, let's make it 6.
Okay,
No.
so we'll do it half and half. We'll do 3 potions and the rest can be antitoxin. So that would be 12 antitoxins.
Yes, thankfully, Ashleaf is actually a major ingredient in the antitoxins, so that should be no problem at all. And she hands you the vials of the different potions.
Let's add 3 more, just potions of healing, like the other 3 we have.
Yes.
Okay. And then 4 or 12 vials of antitoxin. Yeah. It's in there.
okay.
Like I said, the only 2 of us that would use the antitoxins would be me and Arhant, because it doesn't help Karth at all. His dwarven
Yeah.
resilience.
Yep. Then, pleasure to make business with you.
Well, thank you for having in the first place cured us of the poison of the assassin's poison, which literally saved our lives. So
Well,
it was no trouble at all. So it's at least in my book, it's we that are most obliged to you.
I agree.
Then, uh, it, it, it was a pleasure helping you. And thanks for the enormous amount of ash leaf.
Now, if we're ever in the area again and you need us to find some choice bit of materials, just let us know.
Yes, I will. I will.
Give her a little
Also-
bow and oh, what was it?
Well, Arahant will will give a little bow and say, "Well, thank you again, and may the great catfish of wisdom send his blessings upon you always." And then
I
he will
mean,
leave.
technically, if you really want to offer collecting stuff for me, I could use some ash drake guano.
Isn't that bad shit?
I think she said ask Drake, implying a Drake is involved. Could you describe that in more detail?
I mean, it's the droppings of an ash drake.
I mean, more so as the nature of the creature.
Mel, it's a kind of a dragon. It's smaller in size.
Ash drakes are very small.
Well, do you know where they would roost at, or otherwise the territory that they hold?
They just like to roost all over the chimneys of the city. You really just need to go around and collect it. I'm not saying it's like hard work, I'm just saying, like,
You just saying
if you're
you would rather
offering,
us collect shit than you.
like, if you're offering to get stuff for me, that's stuff.
See, she had a little twinkle in Mel's eye, like adventure, hunting a drake, and then it got just flattened.
They actually stay smaller than human sized.
Oh well, if we ever come into an argument with them, I can always try to parlay with them and
You speak Draconic?
yes.
Who
Being
does?
being a I have the linguist feat. I am a human. I have a background that grants me 2 additional languages, and I'm a knowledge cleric that also grants me 2 additional languages.
Yes.
So I do have a plethora of languages that I speak.
If we come across any, then we'll bring some your way.
Does it look
Yeah.
like? What does it look like?
It's, roughly dragon-like, about the size of a large dog.
I meant the poop.
Oh.
Oddly
know-
poop shaped.
I mean, is it more like bird poop, like white with a sprinkle of brown? Is it more like actual guano? Is it more like human feces? Is it more like
it's
fictional names?
pitch black and semi-liquid, except when it's dry. Then it's pitch black and dry.
Which is more preferable?
I mean, I'm drying it anyway, so probably dry.
Mean.
Well, it does have medicinal purposes and abilities.
Yes. There's.
I am quite versed in medicine, so I'm more of a scholar than anything else.
Indeed. So, yes, if should you come across any, I would be happy to buy it off you or exchange it
much?
off you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Mel's gonna move to take his leave.
Am I hearing a turkey out? No, why would I hear a turkey outside my window? That would be weird. I mean, it's probably just the dogs. Or maybe geese. That could be geese.
Is that the Jan saying that or the?
That's me saying that, yes.
Ah.
There were just unusual bird noises going on. Marie,
Huh?
what is going on? What is it that you or I guess maybe your girlfriend is listening to there?
I have no idea.
Ah,
About something about a career, but
yeah. Anyway, I would say we have been live for 1 hour and 16 minutes. We should do our first break.
All right.
unmute myself. Transition on studio mode. Welcome back. Before the break has ended, but before we actually continue playing, there have been 2 donations of €1 each. One by Shrek. I guess in chat is Shrek wants you to eat an onion. And the other is by... I can't really get... I don't really know how you're supposed to pronounce it. I think it's...
I think you pronounce the first word as I neither.
No, I think it's... Ainida? And then and then it's ditch. I think that's correct. I'm very sorry if I mispronounced your name. but anyway, that means there's some nutrition for me, I guess. So, without further ado, I think I technically can fit those in my mouth fully. But then I wouldn't be able to chew on them. Really. So.
I mean, give it a go.
And yes, my video can currently only be seen on stream, not in Discord. If any of you
Yeah,
are
I'm watching
wondering. Yeah.
How'd they taste?
All in all, definitely spicier than the big vegetable onions. But also, I just need to eat way less of them, so... Yeah. It's not like with the super big onions where I get like that weird, almost fuzzy feeling in my mouth for hours afterwards, so... That's great. I think technically you're not supposed to eat too many white onions raw because there's like some substance in it that can be relatively dangerous. I think it's the sulfuric acid in them. Or just the sulfur in them.
Met-Eagle disagrees.
I think they can, if you eat like 5 or 6 of them in a day, it could be like kind of harmful.
Yeah.
So you're saying I need to donate $3 more in $1 increments?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know pineapple's bad because it like immediately goes to work or breaking down in your mouth if you were to sit there and just eat pineapple over and over and over.
Yes. Yeah, so if in the future there are many more donations, I guess I should just start purchasing a lot of red onions.
That's cheating.
Why? Why is red onions cheating?
Because they're less spicy.
They are not.
Yes, they are.
No, they are not. Wait, Google. Red. Wait, I should use Google instead of Bing. Are red onions less
Being tried again.
spicy? Red onions are sharper and spicier than yellow onions. Literally the first search result.
That's why they're called red onions. Probably because they're red too, but...
Wait, which onion is the best onion? There's like... white onions are the crunchiest and zingiest. Yellows are the best all-rounders. Sweet onions are best for frying. Red onions are best for eating raw. And shallots are milder and more subtle. And yes, red onions and shallots are not the same, even though shallots are also red.
Well,
because shallots are like long and stuff.
you know it's also long.
That's is it the surname of Miss Aida?
No. Oh, now you pronounce the name right.
Yeah, maybe at some point I should also put like some sort of idea for a price point of the different kinds of how would you call it, for the different like basically for like €1 or dollar I just choose myself what I'm going to eat. For a $5 you can choose whatever is in my kitchen, and maybe for like 20 you can actually force me to go buy something.
And for 30 you can do the one chip challenge.
And I get the price for buying something is very variable. I'm not going to eat a Carolina Reaper for €20.
Pussy.
Or just generally anything that requires medical attention.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to actually hurt yourself.
You know, that's like probably where I draw the line.
I mean, you technically don't really need medical attention after eating a Carolina Reaper. Technically, you can just drink straight up capsaicin and nothing bad will happen.
There is a lethal doses of capsaicin.
Yeah, but it's pretty high.
I
thought.
It's lower than you think.
Yeah, and everybody's body's different.
Lethal dose capsaicin. 0.56 milligrams per kilogram.
That's actually less than I thought. So for you, it's like
So if you
7-8 grams.
Yeah, so if you eat like very hot peppers, it's like somewhere around the 14 mark where it could start to become a problem. Like 14 peppers. Yeah.
Yeah, don't need to go that crazy.
I think there's like some sort of thing with a blood thinning effect or something with like associated with just generally those super spicy peppers where you should probably have a doctor nearby. Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but Clarf is.
Yes. And I guess he's nearby. Nearby to a lake. In a town that we are returning to now. Plot.
Nice.
Yes. You left the hut of Rigu after delivering the ash leaf and getting your potions, what are you going to do now?
Give them the hard questions. Do we have any other questy stuff we were trying to get accomplished? I mean, I guess there's still the whole looming threat of that mayor and town beset by cultists and such.
Yeah, that small thing.
Yeah.
That small thing in the background.
I don't remember what like our recourse was, like what we had decided to try to do.
Yeah.
So my other party members have the weigh in on.
Sorry, what?
Did you just open your mouth without saying anything, or are you muted, Lordwick?
I was muted,
Okay.
and I only said well.
Well, well, well.
Whale, whale, whale.
I just didn't know if we had a pre-established plan with how we wanted to proceed.
Doesn't look like it.
Nah,
Well, we did had a plan that was to bring the book to the center of the island, but that went away in because the Duke just took the book in safekeeping, so that was dealt with. I'm looking through my notes, by the way. Mm, no, aside from the ash leaves and the fact that the Duke wanted to obtain a crown, that's all I have here in my notes, of at least. So if there is something that I've missed, then
No,
because we had the fallout of like getting thrown in prison, basically. So we're technically fugitives from that city, unless we get exonerated by the Duke or got exonerated by him.
the Duke doesn't even reside in that city.
Yeah.
I don't think he doesn't really have that much power there.
Then,
I
yeah,
think
there
the
were.
king does, doesn't they? Don't they?
You don't even know what your fiefdom is, though.
Do I look like I care?
I mean, it's a pretty pertinent question.
well,
Like, we're already fugitives and then showing up at the doorstep. I am your king! Kneel before me! Probably isn't going to go over very well.
well, first of all, we don't know what the crown entails, and if it's indeed a we don't even know if the crown is cursed, yes or no. The crown is missing gems, so we could go and try to look after the gems. We have to deal with the fact that the Duke asked us to obtain the crown. We have the crown, but are we going to give it to the Duke, yes or no? And if Clark has, I don't know when leaving the cellar or the basement and going into town, if Clark kept the crown on his head, yes or no. So that I do not know. If he did, then most probably the imps will have seen it, so they could relay that to the Duke. There is the case that we are indeed fugitives in the city of Berg.
Yep.
So we have a lot on our plate.
Well, as I said, I see no reason to make the Duke into an enemy, and
No, indeed, and well, he made it clear to us that that for the moment we're, as long as we are useful to him, we have not to be afraid to be considered enemies of his. So, and being the fact that he is a demon or a devil, well, and having a high ranking title, so it's fair to assume that he is quite powerful as a fiend.
it seems your Royal Majesty may have to requiesce or relinquish their place of power. Looking at Karth.
What?
Sorry, yes. I was reading.
I actually know exactly what you were reading because I just sent it to you, but yes, you were asked because there is someone that actually wants the crown.
Yeah, and I don't care.
Yes.
Which is fine. You can feel how you want to feel, but
it's my crown.
I mean, you can say that, but
I'm keeping the crown.
don't make this harder than it has to be. It's for the best.
I'm gonna take a few steps back. My crown.
Son, you could take 20 steps back and you'd still be in my sights.
Please, gentlemen.
I also love how the melee character just takes steps back from the ranged character, expecting that to give him some sort of advantage.
I mean, I do have crossbow experts. Technically, he can be in my face. I don't care.
Gentlemen, please. We have to resolve the matter of the crown quite rapidly. It's clear that apparently Claude will not relinquish it. The Duke,
the
who
only
is
way you're getting this crown is if you take it off my dead body. And
Or
I
on
need
contest.
the Duke being a very powerful being, what will we tell him? He asked us to recover the crown for him. So
I actually have an idea when it comes to that. So, what's the crown made out of?
You're not
Is it
actually.
like a metallic crown?
Yes.
I have some iron ore. We can just make a fake crown.
I don't think that would go over well.
Well, it would take. I'm not questioning your ability to work an anvil, far from it, but it will take some time to forge a new crown, and we also have to keep in account that we could maybe be watched over by those two imps.
Yeah, they just watch you make the crown and be like, okay, well, they've made another crown.
I'm voting we don't even go to the Duke.
Given he's outreached his hand to be able to even follow us to the extent we are, and his talk of having multiple abodes all across the land, I wouldn't think it'd be any large task for him to be able to track us down if he so desired. So again, I think it's in our best interest to do our end of the bargain and the deal that we made with him.
Give me 1 sec. I need to console someone. Do you mind if I, speak alone to them?
I mean, if you wish.
Thank
Turns to look at Arahant and just shakes his head.
He's going to talk to the rock again, isn't he?
Yeah, most likely.
I'm gonna walk a couple of feet, but stay within 30 feet of Mel. I'll first take out Dio and ask him what he thinks of the situation and if I should hand over the crown.
Oh yes, I need to answer that actually. I need to actually give an opinion on that from the perspective of a rock.
Yes, indeed.
So I think I know someone who might even be able to better answer this than I am.
Who?
No, he doesn't look at you. Here's the rock. You know, you realize that
Roleplay
you
rock is harder than you thought, isn't it?
yeah you you know that you are able to talk to objects, right?
I mean,
As
yeah.
you're doing right now. So, do you know who you could just ask?
You mean I should just ask the crown?
Yes, that was what I was implying, indeed.
Alright, Dio. I might need your emotional support on this. So stay right here, and I'll put him on my shoulder and talk to the crown now. Hey, mate.
Yes.
So we have kind of a situation here. There's a guy that wants you, and there's a guy that needs you.
So, that is
One of those people, being the guy that wants you, is a devil. Or is it a demon? Wait, was it devil or demon?
it's a devil.
Okay, is a devil. And the person that needs you isn't only me, but that person could be the entire world.
So, those two people you speak of, are any of the two worthy? Did any of the two complete the trials required to bear me? Or to wear me? Or to... what the word? Anyway.
I mean, wasn't I told that the trial was just to get out of that cave and we kind of did that?
That
At
was
least that's
so.
what you told me.
I
mean, it's not a complete crown because I still need the things that go into it, but you at least said that the quote-unquote trial is just getting in, getting out.
By the way, I'm speaking again in character of the crown. Yeah, I guess that technically would be correct.
So yeah,
technically there isn't supposed to be a way in there without completing the actual trials.
Hey, don't blame me, blame the system.
So, where are the stones, by the way?
Here's the thing. I kind of know where they are.
And then why didn't you get them?
Sorry?
Then why didn't you get them?
Because they wanted to go here first and give you to the devil.
So, fun fact, if I had my stones back, the trial would be working.
Wait, so you're saying that if we get the stones back, we can complete the real trial, and then you 100% should be mine.
Yes,
not
and
mine,
you by
I'm saying-
right are king of this land. If you're still standing in the correct land.
I mean, I'm standing in, I'm gonna turn around towards Ludwig and Mel, towards Arahant and Mel, and be like, "Yo, is this still the right place for the crown and shit? You know that, by any chance?"
I don't know what land that some random crown belonged to. Some ancient crown at that.
All right, thank you. Yes, we're still in that land.
Perfect. Then I am enthusiastic about the moment when I am able to sit upon the head of a worthy crown bearer. I guess technically at that point you are not just a crown bearer, but an actual king.
I'm a doctor.
What?
And a doctor.
And a doctor. But most importantly, a king.
I mean, that depends on your definition of important.
Hey, in Shining Force, a king ran shops too. So he can multitask.
Yes.
So you're saying, so I'll have to ask you to make a decision. Either I keep you, and I promise I will try to get those stones and do everything I can to become worthy of bearing you. Or I give you to the devil who does who knows what.
I am not sure if I should make this decision while incomplete. It honestly, I mean, you could just give me to the guy, get the jewels, then do the trials, and then claim me back as the rightful king.
Okay, let's be honest here. You haven't dealt with the devil so far, have you? Like, they're not very keen on just giving things back to the people they belong to. Souls.
Yeah, maybe that's true. Yeah, that actually is pretty true.
So wouldn't you prefer to stay with me until we find everything, and you will also feel the glee of getting each of these stones like gradually put in you to boost your strength or whatever it does.
First of all, that sounds oddly sexual.
In a sexual way, okay?
Second of all, why would I care if it's you or someone else? I barely even know you.
Hey, I just met you.
Hi, Clark. I'm Crown.
Do you like that name, or do you want a new one? I mean, I have this buddy here. I look over at Dio. This is Dio. He's a diorite rock.
Yes, that is a diorite rock.
Oh, do you know? Do you have eyes you can perceive?
Maybe.
Are you not telling me things that you should be telling me?
What should I be telling you? You are not the rightful king. You have no power over me. You're literally just talking to me.
All right then. Some other guys, and then I'll get back to you. See ya, and I'll end the spell.
Okay.
I will turn back and walk back over to Mel and Arahant, standing closer to Mel than Arahant. All right, so the crown seems to be indicating that we can't make an informed decision until we've completed it. And hear me out, even if we decide to hand it over, wouldn't it make more sense to hand over the completed thing? Because, like, essentially we're just handing over a piece of metal instead of an actual crown.
I mean, I think that would be up to the Duke what state he would rather it be presented in.
You know, I would really love for D&D to have like a skill called short-term memory.
Why?
Because then I could say, give me a short-term memory roll, and if you succeed, I'll tell you what the Duke actually told you.
I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
And then he's gone. Hey,
Well,
you can call it short-term memory because it's been a minute since.
True.
You can always ask to.
Sorry.
You can always ask to roll or to make a history check.
Is it really a history check if it's like 1 day ago or 2?
Yeah, just raw intelligence then.
Yeah, just roll. Give an
Or I can
intelligence
just
check
tell
and
you that
Yeah. Yeah.
he
unless you
pretty
have
much-
defeat, then you know exactly what everything you have seen and heard or read in last month.
You get the pest of the DM. Like, hey, what are these things I remember?
Yeah, then I really need someone to write a protocol of everything I say.
Get a stenographer.
I mean, to be fair, I don't really need to because it's on YouTube. But anyway, so he pretty much said, yeah, there's this crown that still might have a rest of power, even though all the parts of it are gone, and it would be great, and it would be great if you could give it to me. I know that's not what he said word for word, but he with the thing he wanted, he referred to the crown missing the gems.
Yeah.
Right,
Nah.
could
So he
you
probably
repeat
has
that?
the aspirations to find them himself with his resources.
Jan, could you repeat that?
He pretty much the mission he gave you was in the mission he gave you, or he already mentioned that the crown is missing its gems, and basically just told you to get the crown.
Aren't we like good adventurers that aim to not only succeed but overcome?
I mean, well, that may be true. Come on, lad. We gotta fulfill our end of the agreement.
I'm breaking contract here, mate. I'm not giving that crown away.
The contract is to give the crown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm breaking the contract.
Again,
Then we are in we are potentially in we could be potentially in quite some trouble back then.
I mean, there's always option number 3.
What is option number 3?
I will slightly attack you. Not so much that you'll actually like get permanently hurt by it or anything. And run away. And you go back to the Duke and tell him exactly that I, well, ran away with the crown. I'm not gonna bother you again. You can do whatever you wish in the future. But I am not giving this crown away. This is the first time in my life that I have felt somehow special in this world. And I'm not giving away that happiness. Not to you, not to that devil, not to anyone. And if that means that I have to leave, I will leave.
see, mechanics Justin is just thinking like, okay, shoot him with a trip attack, take it, run off, and be faster than him.
And then earlier on in the day, and then meaning last session, they questioned Arhan's sanity because he heard voices.
Hey, I could just use an arrow I've not shafted yet. It doesn't have the tip to it.
Do you have crossbow expert?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, I'm all set up, baby. But I prefer to avoid PvP.
Yes, indeed. Gentlemen, please. So it's clear we are in a conundrum, or we have a conundrum. We have the Duke, that is a very powerful being that has asked us to deliver a crown. We found the crown, and we have someone who wants to keep the crown and apparently wants to follow the trials to become a sovereign. And so we have the option to either deliver the crown to the Duke or cut our losses with one of our with the group, and with that I mean Clark, or else decide to be both of us kind of outlaws and then be on the run for we do not know how long, to try to stay out of the reach and the clutches of the Duke, who, as I presume,
I don't want to force you into living a life that is entirely subject to fear, where around every corner could be the Duke lurking and trying to kill you. I don't care if I die with this crown with me, but I will not die without it. I will not live without it. Sorry.
well, about that, you're talking to a person that, because some would say that it is a gift, but I consider it a curse. That is, you're talking with to a person that is cursed with the gift of vision and prophecy. So I live in constant fear of what tomorrow has to bring. For every night when I go to sleep, I even fear to go to sleep, because I cannot imagine if I will have a vision, a dream, or a premonition, or just a quiet dream. And if I have a premonition, it can be something good, it can be something bad. So I'm used to living with, well, I'm not used to it. I would prefer to be rid of that power, but that will not be so easy. So I know what it is to live in fear of something that has yet to come. But with that, I have already enough on my own plate.
As we
In
are
the
already
fact that we are already fugitives in the city of Berg.
yeah, see no reason to compound that outlaw status by adding another powerful individual at our backs.
Indeed. But I can also understand that I do know what it is to really wish for something, my dear Clark. Know that you have found a purpose in your life, and that is to know that you have the ability to possibly become a sovereign. I do know what it is to have a dream, because my dream is to get rid of the gift of premonition and foresight, or at least trying to master it in such a way that I'm no longer the plaything of fate, but the master of my own fate.
How about, okay. How far away are we from the catfish? Because I think he might, he might be the one that might actually be able to make the wisest decision here.
Do you mean the
With the catfish, you mean the great catfish of wisdom?
Yes.
It's a deity.
But didn't we talk? Yeah, but I mean, like, didn't we talk to that one catfish dude?
It was just a fish dude, not a catfish dude.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, I'll read that.
out there, you small fish dudes or catfish.
I think I've been catfished.
That's actually reverse catfishing, technically.
So
Arahant does pray on occasion to to the great catfish of wisdom.
I mean, if you want, can you like try to ask? You know.
I can pray for guidance and hoping that it deems to answer me. It is have a knack of, or have the luxury to respond whenever they want, if they want to respond in the first place. And who knows, maybe he is the reason why since birth or since a very young age I was able to have visions and prophetic dreams. Maybe he is at the origin of all those things, and I was predestined to become one of his clergy for the same in the same for the same thing. It could be a fluke of fate. I do not know, or just because my stars are aligned and in one way or another, or I'm just a plaything for many powerful beings that only consider me a little pawn in a scheme that is way too big and way too large for me to see.
As you finish the sentence, from the direction of Mel, a voice says, and also if you give him the crown, you would have increased it might improve your chances of getting a date with the Duke's daughter.
And do all of us hear this?
Yes.
I'm gonna look in the direction that the voice came from and say, I wish not to be horny. I wish to be happy.
But
God damn it.
yes.
They make Arahant face palm.
The direction would basically be about the direction of Mel's face, by the way.
Double face palm even.
Or originating from me, do I hear it like right on me?
No, it's behind you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna turn and see what the heck it is.
You see nothing.
Is the voice speaking in common or?
It's speaking in common.
I will butt it with my crossbow.
Yeah, you feel your collar wasp will make contact with something before it swiftly flaps away.
Arahant is lifting his head heavenward and.
Can we continue this in Dwarvish? Is that fine?
And muttering, what have I done in the cosmic scale of things to merit this?
Oh.
Have
I offended some deity or something like that?
I think your mistake was being born.
Oh.
That would not be my mistake because I have no agency on the fact of being born or not.
Do you though? Do you know that you had no agency? Or did you just have amnesia from the moment you were born, only able to make new memories from that moment forward?
Claude, you are as versed at medicine as I am. I have also studied medicine, and from what I ascertain,
Who said I studied medicine? I studied rocks.
Yeah, I wouldn't insult yourself that far,
uh,
Arhan.
I said I'm a doctor. I didn't say I was a physician.
But in any case, I say we take the crown back on your head, and then you could plead your case to the Duke.
that's a yeah. We can do that and see what it will come out of it. That's true.
So you're suggesting taking a crown that could be who the fudge knows how powerful to a being much stronger than us combined, and ask him if I can keep it.
I'm not asking him, but you could ask since you are so enamored with it. I have a job that I'm trying to fulfill. Simple as that.
I need to console the crown one more time. I'm sorry. Just give me 1 minute. And I will start. There was like a forest in the area, correct?
Yeah.
I'll walk towards the forest a few feet.
Mm-hmm.
Walk a bit further.
Yes.
If you start going into the forest, then Mel's gonna follow you. Just forewarning.
I'm gonna fucking dash.
I so just want to say zombie attack from the ground just unburies itself.
Okay.
That would
I
be...
guess I have to take aim and fire with a. I'll give him. He can get his dash because I'm wanting to load a blunt bolt in so as to not actually hurt him. So that would take time for me to look for.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So go ahead and position us where we're at.
Oh boy. So...
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry.
Let's put this on top of the map so I can actually get enough distance done. You were talking, then he was taking a few steps back, taking another step back, and then dashing.
So that'll be another 50 feet.
Yep. So down here he would be.
Alright.
Which is still just 80 feet away.
320 feet to go.
It's not gonna go well, is it?
Well, I guess we roll initiative.
Arahant.
You can
Will,
decide not to engage in this, Arahant.
I said I'm intentionally using blunted arrows so as to not actually hurt him. Or not with the intent of lethal damage, at least.
Arahant was going to was planning on going to Mel, place his hand on the shoulder of Mel, and say to Mel, look, if he wants to keep the crown and be a target for the Duke, then it is his choice, and by doing so, he does make sure of it, or at least avoid that we share the same fate. So if it's truly his wish, why not let him go? We can always we can always tell this to the Duke and see what the consequences will be, and only hoping that we will not suffer his ire or wrath or what have you. But I'm not. I do not want to see any one of us hurt. So if it's maybe for the best, if you let him claim his kingdom if he wants, let him go his way.
See, now in Mel's mind's like two sides of the coin, because him and Karth kind of butt heads a lot. So it's like, I should at least make an attempt to get it back, and give him a good knock just for old time's sake. Yes, I think I'm gonna take. Well, okay, I said we probably have to roll initiative, but I think I'm gonna take at least one shot at him just to give him a nice knock on the ass.
Okay.
That's a 5.
Hey, I didn't roll much better.
Arahant will keep himself out of the.
So, Mel can go first.
Like I said, a blunted arrow. So I mean, I'm not gonna make an individual thing for it, but does a 20 hit?
Yes, it does.
Then I would do a tripping attack on that. So you make a strength save versus whatever the hell my DC is. I'll find it.
I mean, it's a strength save for a paladin, shouldn't be too hard.
8 plus 11 plus proficiency.
Yes, 8 plus 11 plus proficiency.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot.
I misspoke, but
should be
8
14,
plus 3
right?
makes it 11. Yeah, 14.
14?
Yeah.
That's doable.
I have a +4 to my strength save. Let's see here.
Yeah, so your chances are 55% to...
Yes! Oh my god!
Yeah, that does it.
Okay.
You get hit in the leg, and while you slightly stumble, you manage to catch yourself and just keep going.
I'll take another shot. Yeah, I'll give him one more. One more kiss goodbye. Oh, that's only 13. All right, he's fine.
That's good.
I could precision it, but fuck it. I made my attempt to.
Yes.
I'm like, no, actually, action surge. No.
Are you actually gonna?
No. I'm not that committed. Got the wall up you on the ass once. Hold on, what was the damage? Okay, just out of curiosity. Oh wait.
So 6 damage. All right.
Wait, hold on a minute, son. That's from the tripping shot.
Wait. So the 7 is the one that I take, right?
Yeah. The other one was just blunt.
Okay,
I was
it's 4 damage then. So at 15.
Heavy armor master. Yes.
Yeah, I turned off my sharpshooter.
Yeah. No killing the paladin in a single turn.
I mean, I was at less than half health.
Yes.
If I really wanted to go for him, I'd have gone for him. But nah. Because I would attack him 3 times, and then odds are he's going to fall down, and then I just keep advancing on him much faster, and he still
Can't
would
you
be in my
actually,
range.
with action surge, attack him 4 times?
In a turn, yes. Because I
Yeah.
can attack twice and attack twice.
Yeah.
Just where you already made one save, it would have been only 3 more.
Yes.
Go, little dwarf friend. Be free.
So the dwarf is now in the forest.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep on running for a while until he's sure that no one's behind him, and then. And by the way, constant divine sense. Like, I just divine sense at the moment I hit the forest to make sure that those fuckers aren't behind me.
Yeah, they aren't. You also note it also makes it easier to avoid the spot where there are zombies hidden in the ground.
Oh, yeah, that'd be unfortunate. I got away! Ah!
Yeah, you only have a limited amount of that per day.
Yes, I do. So that's why I said only when I hit the forest I'll divine sense.
Gets killed by fucking the rot leeches, whatever the hell they were.
Yeah, I guess I'll make a new character.
Did you just fully run off into the forest?
Yes.
Okay.
You thought I was half-assing this? I'm not.
He was fully committed to getting his crown.
I am fully committed on doing this crown shit.
Interesting. Interesting.
Listen, I had to put up like a token show of not liking that you ran away. For our imp.
It's like, let me
imp
just
audience.
let me just quickly.
Goodbye, Clark, then, I guess.
Sorry if that like completely derailed something you planned, but
No, I didn't really plan anything with the crown. I mean, there technically can be things with the crown, but they're needn't. But there's no need for them. Also, I mean, it's not like I can't use Clark as an NPC now.
that is fair.
He's mine.
Yes. And now I also have Dio.
Oh god.
Dio actually takes the crown for himself. He betrays Karth in the end.
It's like the whole you like finish the rest of you guys like finish the campaign with the new character, and then you just like come to the final boss and it's just a rock laying there with a crown on its head.
At this point, he's like become like a full like earth elemental, but still has the little rock as his head with the crown.
Shall we then use this spot with Clark running off as the ending point for today's session?
Yeah, probably to give old boy his chance to.
I don't mind either way. I can just mute myself, listen in a bit, and make my character in the background.
I mean, what would you actually do next in the city or in the town?
I mean, I guess we need to report to the Duke about the situation that just transpired, since I'm sure the imps are doing it anyway, so may as well get our word in.
Okay, so you're making your way back to the manor.
Yeah, that's most likely what we'd be doing.
And as per usual, the butler opens the door.
I'll mute myself.
Yeah. And says, "Oh, the Duke has been expecting you." And also the dwarf. Where's the dwarf?
That's something to discuss with the Duke.
Then I will obstruct you no further. Come in.
Thank you. Give him a nod and head inside.
Yes, and the Duke this time, or you are this time not led to the usual, like, I guess, dining room, where you usually, there's a moth next to my head. I'm sorry, I'm slightly easily distracted. But you are not led to the usual dining room, but actually to what would look like the Duke's study. So basically just a room with chair, a table or desk. I guess 3 chairs prepared for the party, and just a bunch of bookshelves in the room. And he mentions for you to take a seat.
Do so.
So
Also,
I'm assuming your negotiations with the dwarf were unsuccessful.
Unfortunately. And albeit I attempted to stop his advance, I didn't really have the heart to do so in a more aggressive than I thought necessary fashion, so I apologize for him being able to get out for that bit of kindness.
Then be it so. Things like objects like that crown have a tendency to just show back up or return to where they belong. So let's just give it time. Then is there even anything you still have to do down here? Any reason for you to be here?
I mean, the only other possible objective was for the crystals of the crown, or the gems in the crown, the few that were in the relative vicinity.
If you're saying relative vicinity, I might be disappointing you slightly. From what I know, one of them was taken to a monastery in a relative, not in a faraway land, but you would definitely need to cross a few countries. One of them is most likely located on the plane of Earth. One of them might be is most likely located somewhere on the island of Cannibal Apes, which is pretty close to be fair, but also not a very hospitable place. And we don't really have information on where the last one is. I don't know what that riot creature did with her gem.
I mean, it was your task if you wanted us to at least pursue the one in our own realm that had the possibility of us getting, then I could say we do so, although we are admittedly more short-handed than we were prior. Otherwise, we still have the issue with the town of Berg and us being fugitives there now, as well as just the general disrest and corruption going on there.
Yes, it would probably be wise to look deeper into the inner goings of what's happening in Berg. But there may also be different goings on in the surrounding area. How about I have already told you how, or at least somewhat told you how this manor works, right?
Yeah,
That
that's
it's kind of at
yeah.
many places at once. So,
Yes.
how about while I gather some information on the current situation in Berg and the surrounding area, and maybe we also let cool off the trail a little bit. You just take a you just I'll just let you out in whatever city you want to. I guess given that I actually have a connection there. And you can spend about a month there, maybe longer, maybe slightly shorter, until I call you back with more information about Berg.
I mean, that sounds like a very amenable situation. Just my only concern is if things would take a turn for the south in Berg while we were away.
I mean, I have ways of contacting you, so.
Well, we could go to some town or city that you house in, and would you want us to do anything in that off time?
I mean, just hone your craft. Look at just. I think you yourself would know best what would be the most useful way to spend your time improving yourself.
Understand.
In, in my case, it would then be I would have two different options. Either return to my teacher and further deepen my understanding in magic,
Or
or trying to figure out what what my purpose is.
Well, I mean, in the time you've been with us, I feel like you've expanded your repertoire pretty quickly. So maybe you're a more learn in the moment kind of guy.
anyway, you may let me know where you want to end up once you're ready. And mechanically speaking, there will be a month of downtime. You can tell me what you want to do in the downtime over the course of the next 2 weeks. And also, if you just have a thing in mind and are like, I don't know, where would I be able to do such and such, the Duke may also be able to recommend you a place to do that.
Yeah, 'cause I assume even wherever we go, we'd still be within vicinity to get back in contact with him if we needed to.
I mean, as long as you're nearby to one of his manors, you're probably in the vicinity to be contacted.
Yeah.
But yes, that decision you may make over the coming weeks. For now, I would then end the session.
Yeah, I got a few things in mind.
Yeah, indeed.
So everyone can still say bye to chat.
Yeah, it took a bit of a wild turn, but take it easy, guys.
Sorry for the slight derail. Bye-bye.
Oh well, that's what happens sometimes in a campaign. So we're in a game.
Then, until the next one, have a good one, everyone. And I guess the next one will be in 2 weeks for this campaign. And so on the 10th. And I guess
yes.
technically I will be also streaming the other campaign tomorrow for, any people in chat. Anyway, like I said, until the next one, have a good one, everyone.